I'm JABBA44x from Chicago, South Side to be exact. What's going on?
What's the word, Chicago?
Skelly.
South Island brand, got it tatted on my body. Young nigga.
I'm an artist, a direct. I feel like I call myself an artist because I direct all my music videos and I make music. But like, I guess you want to be basic, I'm a rapper. Yeah. Damn, I'm making music for like 2.5 years ish. I was like, basically, I was doing poetry before I did music, and then. Well, first I did poetry and I was DJing at the same time, and then I kind of got tired of like being the DJ behind the crowd and was like, I feel like I could rap, so I just started writing my own stuff and like, but I only been making music for 2.5 years. I feel like my pops really, I just grew up around like hella music like all the time. My dad would play everything. That's why like sometimes I'll sample some stuff that's like sounds real alternative or something, because I kind of had influences from everywhere. And then on top of that, I mean, I feel like if you from Chicago, you know, like Chance and No Name and Vic and like Joey and all them, so you think like if you saw all them start with poetry, so my idea was like, okay, if I do poetry like them, I can start rapping. I feel like I grew up on, bro, actually I ain't gonna lie, I was a hater at first. I like only listened to old rap. Like I was like 9 years old talking about Tribe Called Quest and Nas is like the rawest rappers alive and like I can't rock with nobody else. Like, and then I got older and like when I started being out in the city more, I started to rock with like Chance and like Joey and Vic and like No Name and all them. And then it kind of like I feel like just living in Chicago broadens like your horizon of music and stuff. Cause like when you a little kid, you only in the crib for real. So like I feel like I was just only listening to what my dad listened to. And then when I started going outside, I started like learning about everybody else and starting to like rock with people. I think you could for sure say like a J. Cole, just because like I feel like J. Cole was the reason I started rapping, because I wanted to be better than him. But like I feel like for a long time I was trying to be just like him, and I was like, I feel like you can never really be better than somebody if you like are trying to recreate them, because it's only one J. Cole. Like even if I became the best version of J. Cole, I would just be a remake of J. Cole. So I was like, that's when I started trying to like find my own sound. And then like, I mean, of course you take little bits and pieces from like people you hear and like how they doing things, but like really I would say probably J. Cole and like Chance were like my biggest influences when I was growing up. So one, Seventh Gate is actually a great example, because like part of the reason I wanted to use like the whole first half of the video we shot in Grant Park was because like that's where we grew up hanging out at, was Grant Park. Like I feel like everybody in our like age range or whatever, like the spot you go to is Grant Park. So it was like, that's why I wanted to shoot that first half of the video there with just a bunch of my friends, because that's really how we all grew up. And then the second half was more like on the artistic side. Like I shot all of it in film, like real movie film. Like shout out Mason Birch, he's like a real dope photographer. We shot everything with like real movie film, because I wanted my stuff to look like as cinematic as possible. How we building is insane.
I just made it past the 7th gate. I be good, I'm doing great. Had to take.
I feel like I just quarantined, really. I just watched like I was trapped in the crib watching movies all day, and then that just kind of made it so it was like, I was like, damn, movies kind of tough. Like, cause I was like, I didn't really watch movies all the way through before, and then like quarantine, I had nothing else to do, so I would just sit and watch movies all day, and then like. And then I just got better at like I started like coming up with these ideas for my own films and stuff, and like I didn't have like a camera and stuff, so I started thinking the next best thing was music videos and like coming up with the concepts for like how I want my videos to look and all that stuff. And then now I'm in school for film, so like I'm trying to like, so now I'm learning the technical side of it. But yeah, like I feel like quarantine for sure inspired like me wanting to like implement movies into my music videos. I feel like for me, it's mostly about like the first line. Like if I can get the first line down, like I'll know what I want. Like the rest of like I can write a verse in 5 minutes. But it's like, so that's why most of the time I end up freestyling like all day, like until I like come up with one line that I think is like crazy. And then once I had air, I actually go in and write everything else. But like I just freestyle all the time. Like when I was a little kid, I used to sit and like freestyle for hours, like thinking it was fun and not even realizing it was like teaching me like how to practice rapping and like become better at writing and stuff. And then I feel like the other thing is like I try to like focus on a feeling when I like make music. Like if I like, and a big part of that comes from DJing, because it's like when you DJ, you controlling a crowd. Like you gotta know this song is gonna make them jump. This song gonna make them find a girl they want to mess with in the crowd. This song gonna, you feel me? So like, I try to make a song and be like, this song is gonna make people have this reaction and make you feel this way, and it's gonna like, you're gonna resonate with it and want to do this after you hear it. So it's like I feel like I'm always thinking about that when I make music. I think it's a time and place for both, cause like I feel like sometimes you can overwrite and like be like, I want to come up with the most complicated lines ever, like the craziest. You got to sit down and like want to reread it for 20 minutes. But it's like, and that's how I really was when I was younger and trying to do poetry and stuff. But you realize like one majority of people aren't gonna sit down and like take a line and like really break it down for 20 minutes. And then it's like, you got to think, some people just fully won't understand it because they're not in your brain. Like it's like having it's like saying something that sounds dope in your head and then you say it out loud and you like, that sound kind of crazy. So it's like I for sure like run into that when I try to just strictly write everything. So that's how I got into like freestyling, and part of it was like my friends too, because like I be with my friends and like really that's how like flows like the more like Seventh Gate type vibe where it's like hella energetic and stuff. That's really where that came from, because like before I was so heavy and like everything got to be super crazy written, blah blah blah, and then I just be freestyling with my friends and having fun. They be like, that's hard, like you gotta record that, you gotta like put that down. So then I was like, one day I just started freestyling in the studio and like songs like that started coming up. It's crazy. It feel like it's far away, but it really wasn't that far away. It's just been like so much growth since then. But like I feel like when I made that, I was first starting music, so I thought like every song I made was like the greatest song of all time. But it's like listening back now, I'm like, man, my stuff is so much better. Like I have songs that I won't even want to put out that I think sound better than that project. But it's like I still appreciate it for what it is, because it's like without that, one, I would have never found like my confidence to like start like putting myself out there with music. And like all that album was really like experimentation, like, but it was like, it wasn't, I thought I was experimenting, but really all I was doing was like trying to show people I could make music, but I wasn't really like trying to make my sound. Like I was trying to write everything like, I think people would mess with this because like people are messing with how this dude sounds right now, or like how this stuff sounds. And I'm like, now I'm comfortable enough in like, okay, people know I make music now, because that was a problem for the longest. I was like, people just didn't know if I like really made music. And so like now it's like people know you make music. So like what the next step is like making some really dope project that like shows who you are as an artist. So like my new project is like just really heavy on like showing me more than anything, and not really trying to like sound like what I think people would want to hear, and more like, if you rock with me because you because you like this sound, you're gonna want to be like I don't like calling people fans, but like you're gonna want to be a genuine fan of the work. I never really faced the challenge with that. Like, I feel like a big part of music is being delusional. And it's like, I was for sure, like, I still am delusional sometimes. And I feel like being delusional, like, helps you make better music. Because it's like, if you think about music from the perspective of, like, people might not rock with this, you're going to make trash music. Because you go, yeah, and it's going to sound like, it's going to come through sounding like people are gonna be able to hear that, like, he's afraid I'm not gonna rock with his sound if he tries to do some experimental shit. Like, so it's like, my biggest thing was like, my pops really, he never did music, but all he told me my whole life was just always like, be you and like have your own mind. So like, I was almost delusional in the sense of like, everybody gonna rock with me when they hear me, and like, I don't really care if they don't, even though like sometimes that matters. But like, yeah, growing up like that for sure made me like delusional in a good way. It made me like believe like anything possible, like, because if you look at rap from a logical standpoint, like, you're not supposed to make it. Like, it's like the amount of people rapping, like, you're not supposed to make it in rap. But it's like the few people that are delusional enough to like really believe they can make it and stick with it and like push themselves are the people that make it out. It's like, but like, because people only find out when they make it, they think like, oh, the second he put out one song and he's famous now. Like, that stuff rarely ever happens, like, if it ever does. A whole lot of music. I haven't dropped music in like, well, I dropped something like 2 weeks ago, but that was really just the start. Like, I got like 100-something songs that I think are dope that I haven't put out. And it's like, I'm about to start putting all of them out. Like, people gonna start hearing a song from me almost every month, if not like 2 every month. And it's just gonna be like, this year's about like really growing. Cause like, I had a bunch of like big wins, but like, I think I messed up. And like, it's all a learning process, but I think I messed up from like getting a big win and not capitalizing on it by being consistent, like putting out music and stuff, because I was still taking time to like really like find my sound and like master it. But now I for sure like started to figure it out, so I think this project's gonna be dope. But like, yeah, like stuff like the Montreality thing that happened when they reposted 7th Gate on their page and were like, we rock with it and put me as an artist to watch. Like, I did that, and like, I didn't put out like me now, I would have got that and put out 5 songs after that. Like, but like, yeah, so it's just about keep going and staying consistent so I can keep building off of stuff like that and like have a bunch of wins that like stack up on each other, because music now is like so heavily built around like momentum. I grew up on a lot of A$AP Mob and like Odd Future and stuff like that. And like, I felt like in Chicago they didn't really have like a collective that was like, not like, there were groups, like, don't get me wrong, like Save Money. Well, Save Money is a collective, and Save Money has a lot of dope people in it. But I feel like at least in my generation, there hasn't been like another like collective of artists that are like making songs together, like a Save Money or a Pivot Gang or like any of that stuff. So my new goal is this TWKS stuff. It's The World Keeps Spinning, and it's a tape dropping with that, and then I'm dropping a bunch of singles, but it's gonna be dope. Hey, my boy. Hey, my boy. JABBA44x on everything. JABBA44x. Go stream for whoever needed it. Out now. Probably gonna be another song dropping soon. 7th Gate music video. All that. Let's run it up. Watch the world keep spinning. Wow. It's more than a gang. It's more than a mob. It's a family for real.